Today I'm going to be doing a deep dive into the beauty brand Beauty Pie to see whether it suits us over 50 women. So if that sounds like your bag, then please keep watching. Hello, Des here, and thank you so much for joining me on this video where I'm going to take a deep dive into Beauty Pie, the brand, and whether it suits us over 50 women. This is my haul. As you can see, I have got a lot of stuff here, and it's taken me a few months to accumulate it because I wasn't quite sure what products I wanted to buy. But without further ado, let's get into it. What exactly is Beauty Pie and how does it work? Well, it's a subscription service, so you pay either a monthly or annual fee to join, and for that you get products that are considerably cheaper than they might be if you were buying them on the high street. Now there's a caveat here, these products are high-end, or at least the equivalent of high-end. They are not really drugstore high street products. So if you like high-end products but you don't want to pay the fee, then this brand might be for you. I'm just going to refer to my notes so I give you the most accurate information, and there are two membership types. There's an annual type where you pay £59 or the equivalent in US dollars per year, or you can pay £10 a month or the equivalent in dollars, which comes to £120 a year. So either you're paying a lump sum or you're paying a monthly sum. So depending on your membership level, you will get an allowance, and that means you can purchase products up to a certain value each year. So for example, the membership that I am on, the £59 a year, which I paid in one lump sum, allows me to purchase products to the value of £3,600 in any given year. That value is not calculated by the price that you pay as a member. That is priced at the price you would pay if you were not a member. So for example, one of the products that I bought recently is called the Super Luminous Under Eye Genius. As a member, I paid £8.93. So if you were not a member, you would pay £24. So they've calculated that the value of the product they're selling to the outside world, in other words, the non-members, is £24. And that £24 will form part of your £3,600 allowance for your £59 membership. I hope this is making sense, but basically you're getting a high-end product for a much cheaper price, but your allowance is based on the high-end value. Also, there's no obligation to buy any of the products in any given year. You can buy whatever you want and as little as you want or as much as you want. Now, Beauty Pie says about this value, they say typical beauty industry markups are often up to 1,000%, which means that you can save more on a single Beauty Pie shop than you pay for the entire year of membership, and I think that's right. Now, how are they able to do this? Well, what they do is they've cut out the middleman. They have gone straight to the manufacturers. There's no store, so they are basically going to the manufacturers saying, make us this, and then they are selling it, packaging it and selling it. They state on their site that they do regularly benchmark their products against other equivalent products for sale in other outlets. A couple of other things to mention. So the creds, as it were, of this company are very, very strong. The company was started by Marcia Kilgore, and she is the founder of many other successful brands. She started Bliss, that was her first company, which was a spa, and then I think it produced products as well. Then she went on to found FitFlop, which I absolutely love. I have a couple of pairs myself, which are those very comfortable, kind of like trainer-inspired flip-flops. Then she started a company called Sopa-Duper, and finally another company called Soap and Glory. So she has a real understanding of how to disrupt a market. Also, the other thing I wanted to mention, which I've only just discovered when I've been doing the research for this video, is that she participates in something called the C List, which is an organisation that was started by a breast cancer survivor who wanted to continue using makeup and skincare, but had to be careful about what products she could use because her specialist told her she couldn't use all the regular makeup and skincare that she was using. So now she's researched what she can use safely, and she's created a list of products that are safe, and it's called the C List, and she's done that with the makeup artist Lisa Potter Dixon. So now you can look through the site if you are a breast cancer sufferer, and all the products that you can use that are safe to use are listed with this C list. You can also use the chat feature to find that out, and you can find out what products are non-fragrance by using the chat feature, which is what I did. So let's get into the skincare products, and I've got 5 of those. Now, as I mentioned, you can check on the site as to whether any of these products have fragrance in them, and unfortunately rather a lot of their products do, so that means I couldn't use them. And the 5 products I've chosen have no fragrance in them, and I think they're suitable for over 50 skins. So let me show you what they are. The first one I'm really pleased to be able to tell you about because I've repurchased it already, and it's this. It's the Beauty Pie Ultralight UVA UVB SPF 25. And oh my lord, this product as an SPF is absolutely fantastic. It just glides on so well. It doesn't pill under makeup. I'm going to swatch a little bit for you there. It's not super runny, it feels really comfortable on the skin, it doesn't leave a white cast, and it doesn't sting. I mean, it's just the perfect SPF for me. Let me rub it in and show you. Look, immediately, no white cast at all. Feels absolutely fantastic on the skin, not too oily, not too sticky. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm wearing it today. My makeup glides on perfectly over it, and I absolutely love it. So that SPF cost £9.14. I found that the first bottle I used lasted me 2 months, so I'd have to buy, if I wanted to carry on using this, 6 bottles in a year. So if you add that £54 or so to the £59 that I pay annually, that's only just over £100 for an annual supply of SPF, which I don't think is too bad at all. Now, they say the high street price would be about £35, and I think that's probably right, because there's a brand called Ultraviolet, and they charge £36 for their SPF. Unfortunately, I can't use their SPF because it's got fragrance in it, but that's an equivalent, and I think that's incredibly good value. So my next skincare product is the vitamin C and E capsules, and there they are. And these are delightful. I've only just started using them, but they come, there's 60 of them. They cost, I think it was £14. I mean, everything I've talked about, all the products and all the prices and all the information I've just given you on membership will be listed down below, so you can have a good old read after I've talked about them. But let me show you how they work. So they come in these dear little, I don't know what you call them, capsules, I suppose, or ampoules. And what you do is you just twist the cap off. Just twist, she says, twist the cap off and pop, or squeeze rather, squeeze the liquid onto your hand like so. There we go. It comes out very handily in one little squeeze, and then you just dot it over your face, rub it in. I think I won't waste it because my hands are so dry at the moment, so it'll do them some good. And I really like this product, or I like the idea of it, because it's got the vitamin E in it as well. So you know the famous C Ferulic by SkinCeuticals, which costs an arm and a leg, whatever it is, £140 or something. This has at least got the, I don't know if it's got the ferulic in it, but it's got the C and the E. So it's got the brightening effect and it's got the vitamin E in it as well. Feels absolutely gorgeous on the skin. Now, at the moment, my skincare regime doesn't consist of a moisturiser. It's literally cleanse in the morning, then the vitamin C and E on it, and then my sunscreen, and that's it. So I'm very happy with that, and it certainly makes my skin feel very nice. Gosh, my hands are red. Oh, I must do something about it. It really does make my skin feel good, but it's early days. I don't know, like I've said, that my skin is old. I mean, look at it. It's 67 years old. It's wrinkly. I don't think that vitamin C is going to make a massive difference to my skin, but it will help to brighten it, and it will help to protect my skin barrier, and it's particularly good used in conjunction with an SPF, so I will continue to use it. So that's the Superactive capsules with the vitamin C and the vitamin E. The next skincare product I chose was the Super Healthy Skin Cleanser, and this is it here. Now, this reminds me a lot of Take the Day Off by Clinique, which, as we know, is quite pricey. It's £26. And this retails for, if you are a member, £13.25, so half the price of the Take the Day Off. Now, again, I've only just started using this, but let me show you. It is absolutely gorgeous. So it looks like this. And what you do is you go, oh, it's like honey. It's got that sort of consistency of that thickness of the, similar to Take the Day Off, but it's more sort of honey-like. And you put it on, well, actually she says you should really warm it in your fingers. Oh, it really is like honey. And it is balmy, as it were. And you rub it on your fingers like so. And then you rub it, oh, it does feel warm, it really warms up. Then you put it on your face, put some warm water on it, or get your hot cloth and wipe it off, and it really does get all your makeup off. It's extremely effective. So the next product I want to talk to you about that I used on my face is this Japanfusion skin mask. And you will see in the cutaway what I look like when I've got it on. It was hilarious, actually. It was very funny trying to even put it on because I couldn't work out how to peel it in half and then to put it on my skin, which way up, which way was up. But I must say, although I looked absolutely scary and obviously didn't answer the door when I was wearing it, it really did make my skin feel good. I only used it a couple of days ago, but I in fact, it was on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas Day, because I thought I needed a bit of a boost. And I really enjoyed using it. I think it's great. Can't remember what ingredients are in it, but I'm not a great user of masks, it has to be said. I mean, they probably give you a bit of a boost. It's not going to last, whatever you put on your skin, for 10 minutes. But it gives you that extra boost if you're going out somewhere or you want to perk yourself up a bit. Then it certainly felt very nice and I really enjoyed using it. It was £6.10, so probably not all that cheap, although I'm sure a high-end equivalent like, say, Charlotte Tilbury would be a lot more. But if your skin needs a bit of a boost, I would definitely recommend it. So the final skincare product that I've tried from Beauty Pie is this face mist. Now again, I'm not entirely sure whether it does anything. A friend of mine recommended it. You spray it on, it feels very nice. Doesn't smell of anything because it's unperfumed. I suppose it really, in the summer, it would probably come into its own to give you a bit of a boost, a bit of a moisturising, hydrating boost. It's a pleasant product. I don't know whether it works. Maybe if you've got particularly dry skin, and I should have said actually at the top of the video, my skin is normal. It's not dry, it's not greasy, it's not really a combination. It doesn't have breakouts, it's just wrinkly and old. But I think if you were in a warm country where you needed some hydration, this would probably be a very nice product to use, and it's very convenient. Now it does contain hyaluronic acid. In fact, it says triple hyaluronic acid, and it's not cheap. It's about £16, but it would probably last you quite a while. I mean, I've hardly used it, as you can see, but it probably would last you quite some time. So if you're in the market for something to keep you cool, keep you hydrated, which I suppose if you were working in an air-conditioned office or in a very dry environment, it might be really good to keep in your handbag or keep on your desk and give yourself a spritz now and again. Now the next category of products that I bought from Beauty Pie, which I'm absolutely loving, is a large collection of brushes, in fact 7 in total. So the reason I've got so many brushes is twofold really. The first reason is that because there aren't that many skincare products that don't have fragrance in them in the Beauty Pie stable, as it were, I thought I would try, given that I joined, some brushes, because I did need some new brushes. I hadn't bought any new brushes for quite some time, and I thought I would start off with a powder brush. And this is the powder brush that I bought. I have talked about this brush before in another video, which I'll link up in the corner for you and down below in the description box. It is so soft. It really is fantastic, and I must say the brushes are incredibly keenly priced as part of the membership. If you were going to buy the equivalent brush from, let's say, It Cosmetics, which I happen to have right here, this would set you back about £36. Whereas for this one, for your membership, you only pay about £7. Now that is an absolute bargain. And again, even if you add on your membership and you buy a few bits and bobs, that's still a really good value brush, I'd say, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So one of my favourites, which I bought specifically because I was trying to copy Angie Hot and Flashy's BK Beauty brushes, because they come in a set, and everyone was raving about her concealer brush, her angled concealer brush. So I thought this Beauty Pie brush might be an equivalent, and I have to say I really, really like it. It fits in beautifully under the eye. It makes my concealer go on really well. After I've patted it a tiny bit with my fingers, I then apply it with, or I then go over it with this brush, and I really am delighted with it. I've also bought these other brushes. So I've got another little concealer brush, which is this one, which is really good for going into the corners if you want to put some concealer just here in the corners of your eye. And then I've got 3 lovely eyeshadow brushes, these ones here. So do you know, the other thing I really love about the brushes actually is instead of having a number on them, they actually say what they are. So this is a double-ended one. It's Shape and Smudge eyeshadow brush, which is really good. It actually puts the name on it instead of calling it a 101 or something. This one is the, and I can read it without my glasses as well. This one is the Pro eyeshadow blending brush, which is a really good brush for blending. And this one is the Pro contour eyeshadow brush. Nearly forgot to tell you about the seamless foundation brush, which is this one here. Now, I have not really been using a brush for my foundation for quite some time. I have to say this one is absolutely fantastic. It's lovely and dense, but equally very, very soft. Oh, it feels so soft to the touch. It's absolutely great for getting your foundation properly smoothed out, particularly here and here where I have trouble making sure that it's smooth. And because of the denseness but also the softness of the brush, it really does do that. It's a great foundation brush. Now let me tell you the price of these brushes. The foundation buffing brush we've just talked about, that's £8.54. The Shape and Smudge eyeshadow brush, which is the double-ended one, that's £5.72. The Pro contour eyeshadow brush is £4.98. The Pro eyeshadow blending brush is £5.99. The Flawless Finish concealer brush is £6.04. Oh, and I nearly forgot to mention the Flawless Foundation blending sponge, which is this, and you get 2 in a pack for £5.99. And just to mention how much I've paid in the past for brushes, this lovely Kabuki brush by Charlotte Tilbury, that's £45. It's a great brush, but it's £45. So let's move on to makeup products. And this is my first disappointment. I am not crazy about this eyeshadow palette. Now I know Kimberly from Pretty Over 50 really liked it, but it really hasn't done anything for me. I have used it. I would use the black, but I find the other colours quite dull. I will swatch some for you just to give you an idea. Let's swatch this brown one. I mean, actually, they look very nice on the skin, but I am not reaching for them really. I've tried, and maybe they're just too neutral and they don't excite me enough, and I just don't feel like I want to reach for them to make my eyes look glamorous. I just find them a bit dull. But the pigment is good. There's not a massive amount of fallout. You also do get these a highlighter and a bronzer. Let me just show you those as well. So that's the highlighter and that's the bronzer. But it just really doesn't do anything for me. I just find it quite dull. It's nicely produced, it's in a nice case, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a bit innocuous really, so I'm not reaching much for that. Every now and again I'll go back to it. I've had it for a few months now. Every now and again I'll go back to it, but I'm not all that keen. So another product where the jury's out, because I've only just received this product a couple of days ago, is the Super Luminous Under Eye Genius, and it's really a colour corrector, and it looks like that, and it's very pink, and I quite like that because my skin is quite pink because I do have dark circles. I've got some on at the moment. I'm never really sure whether I need a colour corrector as well as a concealer. I know a lot of beauty journalists and YouTubers say that they swear by colour correctors, but I'm just not convinced. But I will keep at it and see how I get on. I think you have to give things a good go before reporting back. I just wanted to mention it as part of my beauty pie haul. Another product where the jury's out because I've only just received it is the One Powder Wonder. And this is a one shade, apparently, powder, which is supposed to blur pores. Now, I have tried it on my eyelids and around my eyes because that's where I use a setting powder, and it, to be honest, didn't really work. So it's so fine. I mean, you can't actually see. If I try to get some out here and then put it on my finger, you are not going to, oh, you might just see it actually. Let me just see. Yeah, you might be able to just see that. But it really is incredibly finely milled and there's really no colour in it. I mean, if I put it on, let me come close. It's supposed to blur pores. But I don't know, maybe you have to apply it with a powder puff. I've tried it with a brush. Yeah, I suppose I can see a tiny bit of difference, but again, the jury's a bit out, and I'm not sure whether I would use a powder to blur my pores anyway, because with mature skin, I'm always worried that I'm going to look a bit cakey and a bit powdery. I mean, I know there's a lot of discussion at the moment on YouTube about cream products and how much better they might be for us older 50 women. And I agree with that actually to a certain extent. I think you've got to be really careful with powder products when you're over 50 because you can look cakey, and which is why you might want to then on top of your powder products put some highlighter. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure about this. I'll keep trying it and again I will report back. So a couple of quick mentions. This is the lipstick I bought online. I bought the wrong shade. It looked, well, I should have actually, the clue was in the name. It did mention terracotta in it, and let me just swatch it for you. It's a beautiful colour, but it's just too orangey for me. And there it is. It goes on very nicely. It's creamy. It feels very nice on the lips, but it's just the wrong colour for me. So that one is a fail, but that's my own fault for buying the wrong colour. And then finally, I got this freebie, this lovely hand wash. Now, I am liking this a lot, and I'm going to put some on now. In fact, let me show you. It smells beautiful. It smells kind of grapefruity, but I don't think it's actually got any fragrance in it. I'm pretty sure I looked on the website and it didn't have any fragrance. It smells divine. It's in a very nice little bottle that's very handy to carry with you. Oh yes, that is really nice. It smells very clean tasting, a bit citrusy, a bit grapefruity. So really liking that, and it's called Beauty Pie Good Hands, and there it is. Now, just a couple of things that I should have mentioned at the top of the video. Firstly, they are a cruelty-free brand, and that is really something to be celebrated. But they also mention that they are paraben-free and they are a clean beauty brand. I don't subscribe to the notion that parabens are harmful, because a lot of cosmetics and a lot of things we use on our body do have parabens and they are not harmful. And the other thing I don't subscribe to is the theory that there's such a thing as clean beauty. All products have chemicals in them. All products, if they are sold in the US or in the UK or in Europe, are safe to use. And saying that there's a clean beauty element to a product doesn't sell it for me, I'm afraid. But I do think Beauty Pie is a really interesting concept. And even if I just carried on with a £59 membership and bought the sunscreen, I'd be happy with that, because I absolutely love the sunscreen and it is my holy grail. I really hope this video has been helpful to you, and I hope that I've given you enough information for you to be able to decide whether a Beauty Pie subscription is for you or not. Now, this video is not sponsored. I'm not being paid by Beauty Pie. I just wanted to deep dive into their products because I think it's a great idea to be able to get high-end products to you at high street prices. And I also love that the founder is a woman and that she's a disruptor of the business. I think that's a really interesting concept that she's come up with, and it helps to democratize makeup and skincare, because we shouldn't have to pay a fortune for it, and we should be able to get products that can do good things to our skin as we age and as we get into our 50s and 60s. If you've enjoyed this video, you might enjoy my recent video about high-end and high street products, which I'll link up there for you and down in the description box as well. And thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!